Hello everyone, it's Lurgs here. Welcome to my channel, and today it's how to replace the rear tail light bulb on your Volkswagen T5 Transporter. Now this is a shared bulb, this is a dual filament, it also does the fog light as well, but the rear tail light bulb is basically the bulb that comes on when you've got your side lights or your headlights on. So these are the rear tail lights on here at the moment. So the first thing that we need to do is remove the rear tail light cluster, and there's a link above now about how to do that. So if you go and do that first and then come back to this video. Welcome back, and the tail light bulb is the bottom bulb on this cluster of 4, and it tells you on the housing what this is. It's a 21 watt and a 4 watt. It's a dual filament. It does the tail light and the fog light. Okay, so what you're going to need is you're going to need a glove. Basically, when you install the new bulb, you want to be wearing a glove so you don't get your oily skin on the glass, and that will make it blow quicker, especially if it was a halogen bulb. So to remove the bulb, you push it down and twist it anti-clockwise about 30 degrees, and then just pull it out. Now take a note of where the pins are, because these are offset pins. It is extremely important when you put the new bulb back in that you get those pins in exactly the right place, because if you try and force it in or you get it the wrong way around, then your fog light will be permanently on, and you could also damage the housing there. So make sure that you remember which way those pins came out. One is higher and one is lower. So take your new fog light bulb, which is also the tail light bulb as well. And as I said earlier, just make sure you put it in exactly the same way. So the left hand side is the higher pin, the right hand side is the lower pin. So line that up correctly, push it down gently, and then just turn it clockwise 20 or 30 degrees, and then that just locks it in. And there's a link above now about the battery location and how to check the battery on your Volkswagen T5. Okay, before I put everything all back together, I'm just going to test out the new bulb. So I'm just going to hang it on the side of the van here, and then just go and turn the lights on. So turn the headlights on first, so the tail light bulb is working. Now I'm going to turn on the fog lights, and the fog light comes up on the dashboard, and there we go, that's the fog light on. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, so we can put the bulb housing back in. Basically you just push that into the clips, can only go in one way. Those clips should make a nice clipping noise as they fasten in nice and tight. Just be aware, in that bulb cluster housing there is a small rubber gasket which goes around a seal. Just make sure that that doesn't fall out. Okay, that's all done, and then you need to put that on the chassis of the van. Now what you've got is you've got those 2 ball joints on the van, and then you've got these crevices, these like divots on the light cluster housing, and you're just sliding that onto the ball joint. So you're putting it in from the side of the van and pushing it inwards. Don't force it, it should go on very, very easy. So you're lining it up here and then just pushing it in very gently, and there we go. It's that simple. Make sure it's all nice and flush with the van, which it is, and then you can get those screws back in. And just tighten those up with your crosshead screwdriver. I'm just going to speed this bit up a bit. And there's a link above now about the dashboard lights meaning on your Volkswagen T5. Okay, that's all nicely done and tightened up. So let's test it. That's with the tail light on, and that is with the fog light on. As I said earlier, you've only got one fog light, and it will always be on the driver's side, even though the bulbs are exactly the same on either side. And before I go any further, I'd just like to say a big thank you to my glove for helping me out today. Thank you very much. And I tell you what, I'm a bit thirsty now. It's time for a brew. After all that hard work, it's time for a lovely cup of tea. Oh. If you found that video useful, please subscribe by pressing this button down here. I really do appreciate you visiting my channel. And if you'd like to select any other videos around here, that would be really cool. And be sure to hit that bell notification tab.